The Cross River State government has shut down 36 unapproved schools, ranging from primary to secondary schools, operating without registration or official approval across three local government areas of the state. The State Commissioner for Education, Professor Stephen O'Day, who confirmed the development in Calabar, the state capital, described the situation as unfortunate, noting that some individuals continue to exploit unsuspecting parents by running unauthorized schools. He explained that the closures were executed by the state task force on illegal schools, which was inaugurated earlier this month, and warned that the ministry would no longer tolerate any unauthorized mushroom operations in the state's education sector, as he called it. The ministry's publication listed 16 affected schools in Calabar, 10 in Ikom, and another 10 in Ogoja, all found to be running without government approval. Well, education experts and community leaders are raising red flags, pointing out that without helping hands like temporary placements or support programs for the affected pupils and students, this could widen the gaps of getting good education. If we were to stir the pot a bit, questions will be whether this reform is necessary, tough love to fix a broken system, or it risks punishing the very kids it's supposed to help by ignoring the human side. Should the government prioritize grace periods and support over immediate closures? We'll dig into this with our guest, former regional leader, East Regional Working Committee, NUT, Nigeria Union of Teachers, former and immediate past two-term state chairman, NUT, former chairman, NLC, Akwa Ibom State Council, and himself a retired principal general of the teaching service of Akwa Ibom State, Obong Comrade Etim Ukpong, joins us virtually. Thank you for joining us, comrade.
Thank you for joining us, Obong Ukpong.
Thank you very much. Thanks for also bringing me on.
Yes, well, Amen, as somebody who has, championed education reforms, not just in Akwa Ibom State alone, but entirely in the Niger Delta region, what is your take regarding this particular shutdown of schools in Cross River State?
Okay, thank you for bringing me on. It's a welcome development. That while most Nigerians, including my humble self, welcome the public-private partnership in the education sector, it is not really becoming for certain persons to take undue advantage of the situation and establish schools, or what they call schools, all the nooks and crannies of the country or the state, whether in Cross River or Akwa Ibom or anywhere else in the Niger Delta in the country, and deceive parents who themselves are desperate, to take their children and take the monies when they are not providing what is right. The private education sector has, contributed immensely to the development of our society through the years. From when the churches and the mosques established schools to when government took them over and up till now. But it's not really appropriate for people to take undue advantage of the situation. What the Cross River State government has done is highly commendable. I commend them for having the will, in particular the will to do what they have to take, to take action on what they thought was good enough. You notice that in every available space in our communities, there is a school. Most of these so-called schools are not even approved by the Ministries of Education of the state. And what do they provide? They provide nothing other than just to teach the children how to speak English. Going to school is not all about speaking English. It's about, giving that the learner the well-rounded education that the learner needs to function effectively and efficiently and appropriately in society at the end of schooling or formal schooling. So it is not enough for people to just establish anything, and they call that place a school. Through more than 3 decades now in Nigeria, we have witnessed a situation where, parents and guardians have become so desperate sending their children to school. And the establishers of these, the private schools are very, very, creative and resourceful persons. Every other time you see them come up with a very beautiful storyline that is so convincing, so heart-touching, that people rush. The other time it was giving the children moral upbringing. I think the parents and the churches have suddenly forgotten their rules. And now what is currently trending is giving the children that sound foundation, a good foundation. Agree. Every school gives the child a good foundation, whether public or private, provided it is a school fully approved and being given the license to operate. Whereby government knows the school by name, government knows where the location of the school is, and the people, the learners in such schools are captured in the state scheme of things, are captured in the state benevolence to those who go to school, and are captured in the state benevolence to schools that the state knows are in existence and are providing what the state, feels is good enough to give its citizens, especially the ones to take over tomorrow, the right kind of education.
All right, Comrade
So
Ukpong, if you can hear me.
All right, okay. Yes,
Comrade,
come on.
you can hear me. How then
Yes,
can
I can hear
parents
you.
identify schools are illegal, and how do we take care of the students who bear the brunt of this? What measures should have been put in place before this
The
is done?
students who bear the brunt, yes, it is because the parents are ignorant of what they should do. The
So
parents are just desperate. And so wherever anybody begins, keeps the two benches and write a signpost, they take their children. I was saying, just now, that for more than 3 decades now in our society, parents, especially those within the low-income bracket, have become so desperate that anywhere anything is established, they rush to that place. They themselves are victims of advertisement, just as the rest of us are. Whenever the advertisement is sustained, we tend to follow what they are saying, and we buy what we should not buy sometimes, and we will use what we should not use. And so it is with these parents. Because of the adverts that go on, they take their children anywhere. It is not the place of government to tell somebody, take your child to this school. A parent can live in Kano and decide to send the child to a school in Akwa Ibom or Cross River. It is a choice of the parent.
So how then can the parents identify the schools are illegal?
Even you will know the one that is illegal. The parents know that this is it. Before the government of Cross River State took that action, there must have been sustained education. Check where you have taken your child to. Find out if that's the government of the state knows that school. It's the way Nigerians do things. Many times we just take for granted. After all, they've been making announcements. It's not going to happen. So now that it has happened, the parents should not turn around to blame the government. That government did not tell them which school was legal or which one was not legal. Government must certainly have done some work, some public work, before taking action. So it is just that they just felt that nothing was going to happen.
Well,
So parents need to really understand which. And of course, let me also say, as per your question, sometimes government agents also make, they commit dereliction. Government is supposed to, from time to time, bring out lists of approved private schools, from nursery to secondary to whatever. Government needs that job to do, to educate the public. That is what should be done. But I don't still believe that the government of Cross River State did not alert the public enough for parents, if they, beyond just sending children to school, are taking the education of their children as a very serious matter. To have gone to find out something. In our society today, very few persons are still uneducated. So it's okay for somebody to walk into a local education authority and find out where I'm sending my child. So is this school approved or not approved? In those days, remember, of course, for some of us, when we used to have a lot of private, not many private schools in the hinterland. On the signpost, they would write in brackets, government approved. That was a way to educate the public.
all right.
A lot of those signposts don't carry such things again, and so parents and guardians will not know. But then, definitely, government must have done a lot of announcements.
All right, comrade. As we begin to wind down this session, I'd like you to give some insight regarding what the commissioner said. He calls it an effort towards restoring standards, but Are there areas that still need to be tackled effectively, not just shutting down the schools? What is the government not doing right to ensure that these schools are not even there in the first place?
The first one is, like I said, we commend the government for having the will to do this. But then, as you have asked, there are a lot of areas that government needs to take action. I've mentioned one of them just now. Government from time to time publishing lists of schools that are on the government list, that is schools that are approved. Government should be doing that. That's number one. Before the start of any school session or even school term, the commissioner or any person, other person designated by the authorities should come, on air to enlighten the public. Now that we are about to open schools for the new session, these are the schools, both by radio, television, billboards, any of those, media outlets that can educate the public as to which schools are approved or which schools are not. Which schools are following the government curricula based on national policy on education, and which schools are not. And of course, that will guide the parents to know that if they send their child to a school which is not approved, they are denying that child the government knowledge of the government that child is in existence. That child is out of government statistics. And that child, therefore, the removal of that child from government attention means that such a child could, throughout his or her life, never benefit from government benevolence.
All right, Obong Comrade Etim Ukpong, former regional leader, East Regional Working Committee, NUT. Thank you very much for speaking to us on Niger Delta Today.
Thank you for your time,
Thank you very much. Thanks for bringing me on.